Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I will be guiding you on this journey today. I'm going back to like intro videos. So I'll put the timestamp in the description if you want to just, skip that and go right to the reading, or skip this part and go right to the reading. Because I just cannot repeat myself 12 times. And especially if there actually is something that I want to say, like at the beginning of every single video, my body refuses to allow that. So anyway, yeah. Now I'm like, what was I going to say? I have the zodiac sign readings all finished for like what was mastered in 2025, what's unfolding in 2026. So definitely check those out. I was going to do those for the human design readings, but I actually feel complete with those. So I'm not going to do that. We're just going to start, with the human design readings. Just keep it pushing, keep it moving forward. I guess it would be kind of ish for January. I don't necessarily do like monthly readings, but whenever you're seeing this, that's when it is for, What else? I do have a special or like a new offering. It's 333 reading. It's $3.33. It's a 2-card pull. The first card is the door, or like the obstacle, the opportunity, the thing that you are coming up to. And then the other card, the second card, is the key, which is advice, or what's on the other side of that, or what, what's the purpose even maybe of that. It is a written reading. So, I shuffle the cards with your energy in mind. And then I will send you, of course, a picture of the cards, and then I'll send you just a written thing of what comes through for me with each card. So it's definitely a general reading, but you would Venmo me $3.33, and in the Venmo description, you would include your email address. And then my intention is to get the reading back to you within 24 to 48 hours. It's not going to take that long most times. But that just gives me a good buffer if for some random reason it does take me that long. I don't know, but yeah. And of course, if you make if you make that transaction or whatever, private, then nobody else will see your email address. Just me. So hopefully that makes sense. There will be an explanation of that in the description as well. And yeah, I think that's it, right? That's really the only thing that I would really actually want to say in every single reading. I keep having this feeling like I just want to use some cards that have words on them. I mean, of course there's, words on the regular tarot too, right? It's like the name of the card, but I don't know. We're going to use the time oracle cards, I think. If you open your reading and it's not, I don't have this deck in there, it's because it didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go. And anyway, okay. I think that's it. Let's get into the readings. Great. So this is the reading for the 5/1 Human Design Profile, the Heretic Investigator. Okay. If you don't know what your Human Design Profile is, there is a link in the description for you to get your Human Design body graph, and your profile will be listed on there. Definitely be sure to check out your zodiac sign readings if you haven't done so already, because, not every 5/1 is a Taurus or a Cancer. So let's get some cards out for you guys. I hope you're all doing well. For the 5-1, I'm like, hello? Okay, something is taking forever. It at least feels that way. What is it? I don't take the cards that flip in the deck because I just don't take them seriously. I want commitment, and the cards, you know, like they do have to come all the way out. That's too many cards. And I've had that conversation with every single deck, so everybody knows. That is also too many cards. Like, can you narrow it down? Like 10 cards coming out. Bro, nobody else has taken this long. How many cards is this? 4. No. I feel like I just want to see them in case they come out again. 5 of Cups, Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles, 7. No. I want 3 cards. And I feel like if I would have taken those cards, I feel like I would have been doing it just to be done with this part of the process. And I don't think that that's right. What is that? Okay. 3 cards. That's what we wanted. Do we look at them yet? Let's get the oracle cards out. Now we're just going to prolong the suspense. But no, like, okay. Let me get these out first, and then I'll start blabbering. Unless this takes for fucking ever too. Okay, March. One more. In a few months. Okay. Like 10 of Wands, 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups. It would have been kind of interesting if they were like some of the same cards that came out. Although I'm pretty sure I did see the 10 of Wands like flip over. But anyway, what I was going to say though is that like those 4 cards that came out, like I said, like if I were to take those cards, it would have just been so that I could stop shuffling, you know, like so I could just kind of stop that part of the process. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that And like I said, I wanted 3 cards. I've been getting 3 cards for pretty much every other reading. I don't know. There might have been 4 cards in at least one. But anyway, it just didn't feel right. What's at the bottom of the deck? The Hermit. Okay. What we might do, though, is look at the bottom of the deck. And we have not been doing that. But anyway, yeah. And even, like there was 4 cards that came out. Again, I hate using the word test, because that was, of course, the first word that came to my head. I fucking hate when people use, oh, this is a test from God, from the universe, from whatever, because I feel like that also implies a pass fail type of energy, and there is no failing ever, 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 ever. It's fucking made up. It's man-made. But it is almost like a gauge of where you're at, maybe even like with yourself, like the trust that you have in, even the trust that you have and the resolve that you have with your own boundaries. Because like I said, like I wanted 3 cards. That's the boundary for me. Like that's, and also even just the fact that I immediately was like, no, because you also have to like rely on your initial feeling right before ego starts getting in there, which, of course, ego can get in there pretty quick, because, my initial response was no. And then it was like, well, like I could just be done with the shuffling part, because, I'm like getting anxious and, oh, this is like taking forever. And then of course the thoughts start coming into my mind too, of like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this reading right now. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's blah, 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 blah. Fucking dude, but like I said, it's almost like a thing. I don't know what the word is, because it's not a test. It is never a test. It's just I don't know, like it just is like a circumstance, a thing that happens along the way, right? And it's for us to decide, is that in alignment? And I know I'm probably like reading into this too much, right? Whatever. But I really do. The fact that it's even, coming into my consciousness this way, it's got to mean something, and especially like we make decisions about what we're going to do or whatever, right? And then if there's like something that crosses our path where it looks okay enough, it could also be the thing that makes us feel like there's movement or traction, or like something that's happening. We'll like take it as a sign, but really it's just like our ego kind of freaking out, and like kind of like this has to mean something, so anyway, I also keep seeing these little mice. Attention to detail, resourcefulness, humility, and hidden potential represents the power in small things and quiet miracles. It's a call to notice the subtle aspects of life, trust intuition, find solutions in unexpected places, and understand that even the humble can have great impact. Inner work, ego control. Yeah. I do. I have like two mice in my backyard, like off in the, not that I have this huge backyard, but like, I can just see them, and I just can't bring myself to like do anything about it. I'm like they've never been close to my house or in it or anything, but the fact that they're out there though, I don't know, it's like killing a spider, like killing a bug outside. Like what the fuck, you know? So anyway, we have the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Cups, the 6 of Cups. Also interesting that we have March and in a few months, which is, I kind of feel like saying the same thing. And of course, with, March being out here, I think pretty much almost every reading has had a month with it for the most part. This could have been this last March. It could, of course, be, the March coming up. I wonder if there's like something happening in March astrology wise. But anyway, um it really feels like things are gonna start moving, because like the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Cups doesn't really feel like, I mean, I know in the 10 of Wands they're walking, there is movement there. Not only that, they're like over this hump. I usually see this card as like the path being, down here, right? And that this is an option for a path. Like the path is lit up here. Right? And it's like they've made the decision to not take that path. And I've always just, kind of seen it as discernment. Again, even going back to the whole like trust and, having resolve or like determination in your path. It's like trusting the direction that you're heading in. And almost, like not allowing yourself to like kind of veer off that path, right? Like that's how I have usually seen this specific card. But the feeling that is coming through for this card is that you are over the hump. Because also too, there's these 3 wands here. The 3 of Wands talks about broadening your horizons. That's the point when we start taking actions towards things. We've already done the planning, we already have the motivation. Now we start trying. We start putting like active energy into a thing. The information arrives, the opportunity arrives, usually with the 3 of Wands as well. And again, even like I was saying while I was shuffling, like something has been taking forever. It has maybe felt like it's been a long journey. And two, even before I started doing this reading, like I filled up my water cup, and and I knew I was going to do this reading. Like, that's why I filled up my water cup. And I was literally going to ask at the beginning and then I forgot. So I'm glad that it's coming back around. I wanted to ask, like, do you feel something? Like, and then I just kind of started laughing in my mind because it's like, yeah, like, do you feel anything at all? Like, do you have any feeling? It's interesting that these two feeling cards came out here, right? But yeah, like, before I sat down to do this reading, I was going to ask that, like, do you feel like there is some sort of, like, something? I don't even really know the words to, like, put to it. It could be, of course, opportunity. It could be some sort of connection. It could be, I mean, literally just like the timing of things. And of course, now we kind of have a time frame here as well. So yeah, I'm curious. I am, that is a genuine question, because no doubt there has been a journey, and maybe it doesn't necessarily have to have been a big struggle, but definitely just something that you've put a lot of effort into. You've maybe learned a lot of things. You've maybe tried a lot of different things. Like, maybe there's a feeling of burnout, but also, okay, so going back to these three wands being lit up here, they have, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but they have 7 wands. They're holding one, there's 6 more wands in their suitcase, right? So it's like, it's allowing what what you have learned, the skills that you've acquired, again, the wisdom that you have acquired. It's using that to light your way. And also the fact that they left those wands there, it's almost like you're forging a new path, which is such fucking, like, 5-1 coded, especially like 5th line, because it is the heretic, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I'm a 5-1 also. But the thought of anything traditional just makes me fucking cringe. I hate it. I want to have, like, a unique offering. I also want it to be fucking real. I can't stand sensationalized shit. Like, the first feeling I get from somebody who's not being genuine or authentic, I'm out of there. Like, I'll block them, Like, there was a tarot reader recently that I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I all of a sudden, like, I caught a vibe, and I'm like, I don't know, that was kind of weird, but okay, and I tried to watch another one of their videos, and I was just like, I can't. It's not even them. It has nothing, it's just, that's just an example. And that happens, right? I mean, that happens with people, with me, like, it just is, what it is. But also too, like, even in this space, I want to show up fucking authentic. And this is the way that I talk to anybody that I know, like, These are truly the fucking things that I believe. Like, I'm not just trying to like gas people up. Um, so yeah, forging a path that um, you haven't been on before, especially, most importantly, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's not already out there, but maybe it is, something that it is definitely just a new path for you. And maybe there's not, I was going to say not a ton of information. And then I was just kind of like, I don't know. Honestly, that doesn't even really feel important. It really is like trusting yourself, and maybe the the intention with that, or even the fucking result of that, would be connecting with people who are kind of doing the same thing. Like they are trying to elevate themselves, elevate their own lives, right? Like forge new paths for themselves. Maybe they are somewhere in the middle, of course, of their own unique journey. And, like there's support there. And maybe it is something that is off the beaten path. I mean, tens are a completion. So there is some level of completion here. There's some level, of course, of a decision. And again, like this is something that you've already been on. And maybe it's starting to pick up steam over here. And maybe that's what you can feel. It's like you can feel within yourself that there is something changing. And I mean, of course, the Two of Cups, it can involve another person. It doesn't have to. Like I know a lot of people talk about the Two of Cups as being, like a relationship card, or, like meeting somebody romantically, of course, because it's cups too. Especially like if this Ten of Wands energy has been a lot of like push on your own, like again, just even figuring out what that path is, just really being locked in and really being focused on where you want to go, the motivation that you have behind that, the information even that you're picking up along the way, right? I mean, like our first lines, we're always analyzing, taking in information, researching, and we have all of that too to like draw from. So it could just be like even your efforts, like the effort that you've been putting into aligning your actions with your intentions, right? Because that's what intentions are. Like intentions are ideas with action. Like you can't have one without the other. Otherwise, it's just a thought. It's just a dream at that point, right? But it's like once you get clear on what your idea, what your goal is, then it's starting to take inspired action towards it. It's being locked in. It is being on this path and allowing the things that you have learned, the skills that you have picked up, the wands that you have acquired, right? Because you have all of this information because of all the things that you have learned, tried, all the shit, right? And it's using that to light your way, to to guide you on. It's not even really guiding, because it's almost kind of like it's unfolding as you are moving forward, which also takes a lot of trust that truly like the next step will show up, right? Like it's very like Fool card also. And even, because I said like the Hermit is at the bottom of the deck. And again, like if this has been, just kind of a thing that's been either lone wolfy, like you've just kind of been, working on this on your own. It's been, something that has been more internal. Which is very Hermit. Like these are literally to me saying the same thing. Like the Hermit would be your internal guidance system. Usually the Hermit is being guided by the star in their lantern. And the star talks about, faith and trust and trusting the process and having a vision and, taking action towards that vision. Wishes coming true. Being, in the light. It's almost even like visibility too. The Hermit is about healing and introspection and, like going within. So I kind of love this pairing also, because it's like you're allowing your inner compass to guide you on this path. And you are pulling on those skills. And it's so crazy. Like I've only really been talking about the 10 of wands over here. But like with the 2 of cups and the 6 of cups, like I said, like it's almost like you're coming up to a time of wanting connection. Like wanting community. Because like even this Knight of Pentacles, like they're walking kind of by themselves here, right? And I think I started to say it's like making connections with people who are also on their own unique paths, and they're also trusting their own inner guidance here. So you can relate that way, support each other that way. It certainly can be a romantic relationship. If that is what you're looking for, I feel like this is a good omen for that. It could be something that's like a slow build. It could be, like a friends to lovers type of thing. Because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight out of all 4 of them, but it does talk about dedication and commitment, which you would want in a partnership. Also, all these pentacles that are manifesting here, like this is something that has growth potential for both, for all parties involved. I mean, of course, for you, because that's who we're talking about. But it's like mutual benefiting relationships, which is also what we want. Like I don't know about you, but and also too, like Uranus has been in my 11th house for the last fucking 7 years. It's currently right on top of my Chiron. Because I think it's at 27 degrees. And I have a 27 degree Taurus Chiron and a 28 degree Taurus Sun. So it's just been tap dancing on that shit for like however long. But I have like 3 friends now. In 2018, I had like 6 or 7. I've never really had I've never had a big circle. I've always been the type of person that's like, I'd rather make $1 out of 4 quarters than, you know, 10 dimes or 20 nickels or 100 pennies. Like, also, I think too, that's probably my Chiron in the 11th house. Like, I really have not ever felt comfortable in groups or communities. They've never really been safe for me, for one thing, and they've never really felt comforting either. Which is also like kind of hilarious because here I am like on YouTube and I am trying to build, you know, a community here, but it's like petrifying at the same time because again, like that has never been a safe space for me. So, but also, you know, through this transit and literally in this last year in 2025, which is exactly when Uranus has been going over my Chiron and Taurus and my sun, I have found an amazing community out here that is all about healing and connection, and there's no pressure. It's like, you know, they truly do accept you for who you are, unless you're a bigot or a racist or, you know, unless those values don't align, you know, which I'm also all on board about, you know. I love that. But, you know, like there's no pressure to show up in a certain way. They're always happy to see me whenever I do show up, you know. It's really fucking beautiful. And they really are just like my type of fucking people. And like I said, like I found that community this year through my own like healing, or through my own like inner work here, right? Like through that, it brought me to that community. So that could be something that has either happened for you too, or it's going to happen. And again, it does have the energy of like the long game, which I plan on reading here shortly. Like, I don't know if you have been part of the hype with Heated Rivalry, but I am fucking obsessed. And I literally just read the book in 2 days. I haven't read a physical book or an ebook in years, but the narrator for that book is terrible. Like I could not get past it. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to read the book. And I did. I also love to, you know, even like with this, right? It's like maybe even to like the friendships or the connections that you do have. Maybe if you are in a romantic, both, you know, type of relationship, like there could be some maturation with that, just where, you know, it just kind of goes to a different level because it's growing into that level. I mean, if you find yourself in community or in groups, again, even like friends, because this kind of feels like more of like a one-on-one type of thing. It's like the 3 of Cups would probably be more of like community or group. I mean, this certainly can be 2. Hello, you know. We're not gonna just like limit our possibilities here, okay? Like, but it would also be like something to where you feel like you are exactly where you are meant to be, or that, you know, like you have the capacity, you have the energy, the time, you know, like whatever, to want to commit to whatever this is. And this also even feels like divine timing. It's kind of like when it happens, it's just like sparks fly, right? I mean, like, you know, they're holding hands and there's energy that's like flowing into both of these cups here. And two, that there's this reciprocal thing, like what you are putting into whatever it is, right? I mean, it could be your job, it could be yourself, it could be friendships, again, romantic relationships, dating, whatever, right? Like the energy that you have been putting into it, because again, this has been a slow process. But also it's like something that it had to like, what is a motherfucker? I feel like I hate that when I'm like in a flow and then a word that should just be right there isn't. Calibrate. You know, it's like you had to get clear on what your path is or was, or also too, even just the healing work that happens along the way, because no doubt there's been a lot of release and a lot of realizations that have come up, and a lot of just reclaiming your own energy too, and that could be what is making this thing possible. This Six of Cups with the Eight of Swords, like, I mean, the Six of Cups is the card of the past. It's nostalgia. It's looking back, but also, you know, we have this kid with this puppy here, and then we have this adult with, you know, an adult dog. It feels more like the growth that I literally just started talking about with the 10 of Wands and the Hermit card. You know, like seeing where you are versus where you've been. No doubt there has been some level of, again, emotional maturity that has happened here. It could have been a lot of like inner child work and releasing limiting beliefs and fears and doubts, and, you know, just the old stories that we've been carrying around forever. With it being with the Eight of Swords, this can also even be just something like a fear or an anxiety that things aren't going to change, or that it's going to be something, or the result of it is going to be something that you've already experienced. Like, especially if you already have had these feelings before, like, wow, you know, like I can really feel something shifting, or I can feel something, but maybe I don't want to name it because I'm scared to do that, right? Like, I'm scared to call it something and then just be disappointed like I was in the past. That could be like where this anxiety is coming from. I mean, it truly is a mindset. And I mean, it's something that, you know, it's based on information, right? I mean, that's what our ego is. That's what our, you know, limiting beliefs are. It's like, you know, something happened, we attached a meaning to it. You know, like if things don't work out, then, you know, we start attaching meaning to that. And then we also just start worrying, like, man, I'm really excited about this. This feels like a really good thing. And then for it to be just, you know, underwhelming or just not quite. But also that is something that you have learned along the way. Like, you picked that up along, it's still information. It still is something that has helped you get to where you are. And good for you for fucking continuing to move forward, even though you were disappointed, even though you were sad, even though the other shoe dropped. Like, good for you for even, you know, proceeding forward, and even doing so while being completely fucking freaked out or worried about it. The moon is behind all these three cards. And then I want to show this. The moon is the subconscious, right? It's about depth. It's Cancer. Also, there's a full moon coming up on January 3rd, which is in fucking Cancer. So wherever Cancer is in your chart. But this is about truly that deep feeling. And this is, you know, trusting your gut. It is trusting your intuition. There has been a lot of facing those fears. Like it almost kind of feels like fear factor a little bit. There could have been a lot of like being in your emotions, allowing yourself to feel things. But what's behind there is the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the fucking Four of Wands. It almost kind of feels like this is the part that hasn't been shown to you yet. Or also too, like you can't see it yet. And especially, right, like if you've been on a path for a long time, or what feels like a long time, right? Because I mean, time is also made up. Then it's like it's hard to see, or it's like hard to imagine. But also it's like this is what you want too, right? And I mean, this King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles, first of all, the fact that these are next to each other in the deck, I feel like it doesn't happen often, you know? But I mean, this can, of course, because we have the Two of Cups out here, like this, of course, could be a practical, successful, grounded, easy fucking, relationship. And again, that could be work, of course, because it's pentacles, right? It could be money, security, wealth, authority, whatever. It can also be a romantic partnership. It could be friends. It could be, again, just the community space. So whatever it is that you're looking for, yes. It feels more, as I'm sitting here with them, it feels more like there being an outward expression of success. This also even feels like retirement to me. And I mean, just probably because the gray hair and he's sitting in a library, So, I mean, this could be something that sets you up for retirement, since, I mean, that word came out of my mouth. But, kings generally oversee kingdoms. Like, people look to them for guidance and assurity and safety and whatever, right? So, I mean, you will be, an authority. You will be offering something to somebody, to multiple somebodies, and it will be successful. The Queen of Pentacles is feeling content, feeling like you are exactly where you are meant to be, like you are fulfilling your purpose. Even though this is Pentacles, it's still, it's in the way that they're sitting there, like with their eyes closed too, they're like barely holding on to this pentacle either. And obviously the same pentacle is in both cards, but this is like the outward expression, but inward, like you feel fulfilled, you feel taken care of. This could, of course, affect your health. You'll be in a better place health-wise, like taking care of yourself differently. But I love that they're both present. There's this importance about taking care of yourself, while also being able to like show up or, provide something to other people. Because I think a lot of times we forget one or the other, right? Like if we're available to people, we're available to people, right? And there's no, or it's very hard to like kind of separate. And it's usually us that struggle or that are sacrificed, right? Which comes from fear and lack. And if we're not there, if we're not available, if we're not, whatever, then people are going to go away, or this isn't going to be successful or whatever. And honestly, like, we're not even fucking with those people anymore. Let them go, like, let them go, like, if they would rather you sacrifice yourself for them, we're not doing that. The Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities, putting roots down. The Four of Wands, celebration, security, success. The actions that you have taken have led you to a point of, like I said, security, harmony, union. Not to mention, both of these cards. Like, I really do think that you're going to be connecting with people who are your kind of people. And I haven't even really, what else is there really to say? March and in a few months, like, this really is, it's like, just like, keep moving forward. Also, even be discerning about relationships. Like, like, I met a couple people, like, along the way in the last couple months. And some of them I'm like, this is great. Others I'm like, it's just not clicking. It's just not there, and that's fine. Like, in the past, I probably would have beat myself up over that, or I probably would have, again, like, try to make myself available or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need to be an asshole about it either. It just is. So definitely, using your discernment along the way as well. It's, and it's like, the one thing to, like, keep in check here is how you are feeling and perceiving the thing. I don't think that there's really any way to, like, get rid of anxieties and doubts and fears. And again, we have information on what's happened in the past, right? Where if we are on this new path, and we are even, like, trusting ourselves differently, moving differently, thinking to ourselves differently, perceiving the information differently, using our skills differently, there's no information to confirm or deny, like, what's going to happen with that. It's literally just trust. It's literally just you having that feeling that you are heading in the right direction, because you absolutely are. Checking in with yourself as if you are continue to be in alignment with that path, like, where you want to go, what you are even trying to actualize into, your physical life, right? And literally, I mean, just having to trust that's fucking scary as shit. Like, that's the middle too, that I just actually created this collection of quotes that, like, dropped into my consciousness one night, about being in the middle. The part that rarely anybody fucking talks about. Nobody really claps for it. And it's the scariest fucking part to be in, because you've already taken the leap. You haven't quite touched the ground yet. And all you can do is fucking trust that you're gonna land there. So anyway, if you are in the middle somewhere, definitely check out, I linked my Etsy store in the description. For those collections are there. I just started doing that a couple weeks ago. And I really am, I'm just kind of, they're nothing, I was going to say they're nothing special. I mean, they are special to me, but it's literally just, words on Canva pages, and then people can do whatever they want with them, post them on their own social media, use them as journal prompts, whatever. But that's ultimately what this feels like, is being in the middle, which is very like the moon card as well, like being in the middle and feeling vulnerable and just literally having to trust and feeling like you're drowning at the same time. I love it. And I'm right there with you. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.